Where is China dominating in selling exported vehicles?
Well, if you take a look at the, thank you, Kyla, by the way.
Thank you.
If you take a look at the market overall for China, the overall passenger vehicle market continues to grow to begin with, right? It's growing 5% last year to a record high in terms of like auto vehicle sales. And if you take a look at that, out of that 30 million of cars sold, 5 billion of them were exports. And the main export markets that China is really focused on is on Europe and on Southeast Asian markets, right? If we take a look at the 5 million units, about 1 million units were sold to the Southeast, about 1 million units were sold to Russia, 400,000 was sold to Mexico, 200,000 was sold to Belgium. In terms of, then we're talking about passenger vehicle exports. If we talk about EVs, Belgium, Thailand, and UK, these are the top 3 countries for EVs in terms of exports.
That's very interesting. And it's not as though, for example, Mexico does not have a domestic automobile. I mean, they're making American vehicles, but they have a large presence in manufacturing. So it's not just countries that do not have vehicle manufacturing. Russia has some vehicle manufacturing. Who can speak to the quality of the vehicles? But so at any rate, so this is in Europe and also in the West in Mexico, not in the U.S. Why haven't Chinese companies come into the U.S.? Have they been blocked in doing so?
Well, I think if you look at the export tariff that the U.S. is imposing on China, it's a 27.5% export tariff to sell cars to the U.S. So it's not exactly the friendliest country to sell cars to in the U.S. And obviously, we all know there's the geopolitical element also behind the scenes. So China did actually export to the U.S. though, and they exported about 80,000 vehicles to the U.S. last year. But a lot of that are more commercial vehicles. If you take a look at BYD, for example, they have a huge bus factory in the U.S. So a lot of the electric buses
Interesting.
That you see on the road are actually made by BYD.